Welcome everyone, this is Alex Burke from the Salem Museum and Historical Society, and we're here for this week's installment of Around Town, a historic video tour of Salem. And the location I've chosen for this week is right beside the Salem Museum actually, and this is historic East Hill North Cemetery. For those unaware, this is the historic African American cemetery in Salem's community throughout the 18 and 1900s. And it has a very, very unique story, because the land we're all standing on right now was originally belonged to Salem's largest land and slave owner during the time of the Civil War, Nathaniel Burwell. And he passed away just after the Civil War in 1866, and his family, trying to figure out what to do with his massive estate, began to sell off different portions of it. One tract of land his family sold to his former slaves, and they created the Water Street community in South Salem. The land we're standing on right now was purchased by Bernard Pitzer, who was another affluent farmer from Salem in the Civil War. And historians aren't exactly sure why he did it, but he gave this tract of land to some of his former slaves in the African American community to make their own cemetery and place to give them their fallen. Historians aren't really sure why he did it. Some people believe there was a cemetery here already, or some people believe he just wanted to give the African Americans a place to lay their fallen. But unknown, the reason has been lost to history. This transaction took place in 1868, and that's when we have the official start of East Hill North Cemetery. But the oldest known grave came in July of 1869, and it's this one right here. This is George Washington Thomas, and his tombstone is the oldest known still standing today. Historians aren't quite sure how many citizens are buried over here in East Hill Cemetery though, East Hill North, pardon me. Many of the tombstones are unknown or unmarked and withered away over time, but people have done research and they think it's around 800 plus people buried over here in the cemetery itself. And it's truly a remarkable place for Salem history, just to think of all of the people who are buried over here. But that's going to conclude it for this week's tour, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Alex Burke from the Salem Museum and Historical Society. I'll see you next time around town.